Hello, everyone. My name is Oja, and today I want to welcome you to our first feminine podcast. So, Roberta, could you please introduce yourself and tell me what do you do?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Audra. My name is Roberta. I am a feminine energy and relationship mentor for women. I am and introduce myself as ambassador of femininity. For many years, I've been helping women reconnect with themselves, feel more feminine, feel more confident, feel more desired, and emotionally fulfilled in their relationship and lives. I help women to activate the feminine magnetic energy within. I'm also a mother of three boys, and honestly, I'm a very practical woman, and I always test everything what I'm teaching in my life.
Very nice. So, can you tell us exactly what made you to start exploring, relationships and feminine energy in your life?
So my work started because of my own personal pain in love relationship, and my journey started many years ago after the birth of my first son. At that time, my relationship became very difficult. We were constantly misunderstanding each other. We were constantly arguing, emotionally disconnected, and honestly, we were very close to separation. I was thinking a lot about divorce. I saw my own parents separated after more than 20 years together and raising five children, and that deeply affected me because I didn't have a good role model around me. So I remember thinking, what do I need to do? What do I need to become to feel more important, to feel more seen, to feel more loved in a relationship? Because he's 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 not loving me. So, and mostly around me, I saw women only surviving, sacrificing themselves, carrying everything on their shoulders, becoming more like a managers than feminine women. So I start asking myself, is it possible to stay emotionally connected after many years? Can a woman still feel desired, loved, and chosen after having children and after real life responsibilities? That's why I started searching for answers myself. I read books, studied psychology, relationship dynamics, masculine and feminine energy, emotional connection, attraction, polarity, like everything. And because I'm naturally a very practical person, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't want only beautiful theories. I wanted to know, does this actually can work in real life? So
Mhm.
I started testing everything in my own relationship, and it worked.
And that's nicely said. So can you tell us exactly, what surprised you the most about the feminine energy?
Mhm. So the biggest surprise was realizing that many women, including me, at that time don't actually know how to be in the feminine energy. Have you ever felt like this, Audra? Like, I don't know how to be a woman, like a feminine woman. And even more than that, many women are afraid of it. We learn how to survive, how to control, how to overthink, how to be strong all the time, how to carry responsibilities for everyone. But feminine traits like receiving, trusting, allowing our emotions come and release them, It's something new, and it was something new for me as well. So emotional openness, allowing ourselves to be loved, trusting, to be soft. For many women, that feels uncomfortable. And I realized feminine energy is not weakness, it's actually a very powerful emotional state.
Mhm. And could you tell us, what changes did you start noticing in your own life?
So at first, I noticed changes inside myself. I used to be a fighter. I'm still is, but I'm still am, but in a good way. I used to be even confronting. I used to be very loud, emotional, a lot of emotional chaos, you know. Now I became calmer, and it's good for myself first. I became softer emotionally, more connected to myself, less controlling, less exhausted. Then my relationship started changing. I saw big differences. I used to ask my husband to help me, and he used to ignore me. I
Mhm.
used to ask him about more attention. I used to ask about some nice presents for myself, and he used to ignore me a lot. Now I'm receiving all those things without even asking for it. And it changed not only from material things perspective, but also the emotional connection improved. In our relationship, communication became softer. There was more attraction and closeness again. You know, I can feel that we like climbing into the next level in our relationship. And this works affects not only relationships, but it affects the whole life. So the confidence, self-worth, and even the way how I build my work, my business, my daily life, everything changed.
Mhm. So, you're helping a lot of Lithuanian women, to go through their feminine energy and so on. So, why did you decided to start speaking about it in English?
Because I realized women everywhere are experiencing similar struggles.
Mhm.
But honestly, to speak in English, it's a big step for me from my comfort zone. But I want to do it because different countries, different cultures, but very similar emotional pain. So
Mhm.
women feel disconnected from themselves. I can see on internet. I can see because I live in UK now. They feel exhausted, unseen in relationships, always giving, always carrying responsibility. And I want women to know that relationships can feel different, that life can feel different, and we don't have to lose ourselves to keep love. We don't have to become emotionally hard to survive life. We don't need to feel every time that intense feeling, that chaos within us, you know. So, and I want this channel to become a space where we can talk honestly about femininity, relationships, attraction, emotional connection, and what really means to feel like a woman again.
Mhm, okay. And Roberta, could you share with us, what was your biggest transformation in your life through the feminine energy?
I think the biggest transformation was not only in my relationship, but it was how I feel inside myself as a woman. Before, I was living mostly in a survival mode, as I mentioned earlier. I was a fighter, confronting, feeling tension all the time. I was always thinking, always doing, always carrying responsibility, always trying to control everything. And it for me it was very hard just to surrender. From the outside, maybe those years ago I looked strong, but inside I often uh, felt exhausted emotionally. So feminine energy taught me that life does not have to feel like constant pressure. I learned how to slow down my daily routine, slow down within myself, my inner world, how to feel safe without controlling everything, how to receive support, how to receive help and support without asking it, how to reconnect with joy, softness, beauty, sensuality, and emotional connection again. And honestly, it changed every area of my life. So my love relationship changed, my confidence changed, the way I raise my children changed as well. Even the way I create success and how I run my business, it changed. So when a woman stops living only from survival mode, she becomes magnetic in a completely different way. And I felt that. Many women now feel that, which I'm helping. And I think more women miss that feeling today as well.
Mhm. I think you're definitely right. That women need to feel this magnetism, isn't it? And finally leave the survival mode. So what can you say? What can people expect from this podcast, from this channel going forward? Then.
So I hope uh, to make this channel very practical space, very practical, not just theories. And we're gonna talk about relationships, feminine energy, attraction, emotional connection, self-worth, polarity, confidence, motherhood, healing, and real life experiences. But we're gonna talk and give a real nice practices, real nice uh, practical things to shift and to change a woman's life, not just theories, but practical shifts that can truly change the way you feel as a woman. And honestly, I'm very excited for this journey. And thank you for being here.
So thank you very much, Roberta. It is very exciting. I know how you work. I know all your tips and all your practices, and I cannot wait for you to share with wider audience. So thank you very much. It's been absolutely pleasure having you here. And
Thank you, Audra. Thank you, and see you in the next video.
bye bye.